Hey, Microfield here. Hey, lesson number 7 in Notation for Guitarists series. So we've gone from 1 note to 7 notes. How many notes are there in the major scale? 7. You know, how many notes are there in a mode or a traditional scale? Usually 7. There are other scales like pentatonics, which have 5 notes, and the diminished scale, which has 8 notes. But when we're talking, you know, regular scales, 7 notes. So that's where we're at now. Essentially, by adding in our 7th note, the note of B, and we're relating everything to the key of C, we're adding in the 7th degree, the B, and we've basically learnt all the white notes on the piano, on our guitar. And that is, you know, that's hard to do. So if you've been following this for 7 weeks and doing 1 lesson a week, then hats off to you. You've done amazing. So congratulations. Let's get stuck in, will we? So today we're going to do the B. And so where does B live? Let's have a look. So sits on top of 1 extra ledger line. So there it is on your screen. And it lives on the 1st string, 7th fret, 2nd string, 12, 3rd string, 16, and 4th string, 21. So we can play that B in a few places, 4 places, so just drill that. Just add in 1 note a week, and that lives just sitting on top of 1 extra ledger line. So let's go to the next B. So we've got an open B there, haven't we? The 2nd string open. And that lives on the middle line in the stave. Arguably one of the easiest notes to find, the middle line of the stave. So there it is, B. And it's the 2nd string open. But it's the same note is at the 3rd string 4. The 4th string 9. The 5th string 14 and the 6th string 19. So that's your middle line. There's quite a few options for that note. Okay, now let's go to the high B. Now look at all those extra ledger lines. 5 extra ledger lines. That's hard to read. Now you're going to see it in tab books. You know, you're going to be maybe learning Timpanelli by Stevie Ray Vaughan, the guitar solo. You look at the tab, it's just numbers, but when you look at the notation, you might see these notes. That's why I've included them, because I want you to be able to relate to it as a guitar player looking at your tab books, or just using notation, of course. But if you are writing that note for someone in just notation, it might be better to use a VA like it is there. So you can either notate that note up the octave, or you can write in the 5 extra ledger lines, but obviously it's much easier to read sitting on top of the 1 extra ledger line. Okay, and then you've got a B here. That's sitting just underneath 1 extra ledger line below the stave. So you can see there's a kind of a mirror image there, sitting on top of 1 extra ledger line, just below 1 extra ledger line. That's where your B's are. and here it is, 5th string 2nd and 6th string 7. So just like you've done with all the other notes, just take your time, just if you can get one of those little whiteboards like I recommended last week, and you just sit on the couch, just test yourself, write a few notes out and then just wipe them out and write them again. It's much better than pencil and paper, because you feel like you're kind of wasting paper, or it's untidy or whatever. The fact that you can just have that one board, write on it, wipe it out, write on it, wipe it out, it's actually really good for the practice that I've found with students and for myself, like, you know. So work through those B's, and then we have to apply it to caged, of course, and that's what we're going to do now. So here we have the C form. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So some of them might sound a bit odd because we're playing the 7th. What you can do is you can to relate to the harmony, you can play a C chord. Just take your first finger off. That turns it into a major 7. So that can really help your ear. So 1, do it again. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go to the next form. Let's go to the A form. 2, 3, 4. And again, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go to the G form. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Let's go up to the E form. So go up. So again, tricky doing that first string, moving up on one string, but that's what we do as guitar players. So that's why we're keeping that in. So here we go, try that one again. 3, 4. Okay, and then we go to the D form. 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. So congratulations, you've done 7 notes. C, D, E, F, G, A and B. So the intervals of 1 through to 7, all the all the white notes on the piano, all over the guitar. So, you know, that's pretty good going for 7 weeks, considering the complexity of the guitar and the way that it's laid out. So I understand that probably halfway through, around about lesson 3, 4 or 5, that a lot of people would have found this kind of difficult. So if you want to spread it out over a longer period of time, that would also make sense as well. But going forward, you can just kind of chip away at these things, and you're in on the notation. So that's good. You've broken the back on it. Obviously, you know, now you can just fully explore the major scale all over the guitar and just have fun just playing the white notes on the piano on the guitar. So I'm in the A form there, trying to use slurs, slides, pull-offs, bends. This is the G form, into the E form, into the D form, and then jump in between the forms. Slides are really handy. So I mean, it's not easy to do that. It's you know, it takes a lot of focus and practice and respect for the major scale, which is so easily skipped over for something that might be perceived as more exciting. But I think, you know, the major scale leads to understanding the modes, and then when you understand the modes and you get really good blues phrasing, you put the two together. For me, that's a really nice combination that you can spend your whole life playing, you know. Okie doke. So we've got the blues lick, haven't we? Let's check that out. So Every Day I Have the Blues, which is the first track on Live at the Regal, he plays this really cool idea, and I'm obviously trying to tie this in intervallically. The B note is the 7th. So what he does is he bends up to the B, from the B to the C. So he goes. So. So you can see he's gone into the 3rd, to the 5th, to the 6th, and you're bending from the B up to the C. And then you can use your first finger, slide into the 3rd, which is the E. So I really like that lick, because again, he's just playing really, really simple notes, but it's the really interesting way that he kind of plays them. So that's the 13 chord, and then instead of going, which is the flat 7, he's going from just under the root, the major 7, the B, and then the major 3rd, and then you can play some minor stuff. Okay, so that's a really nice lick. I'll play it one more time really slow. and that's a nice one to add into your armor. So you could be thinking about that. Maybe I'll use the 7th, the B, bending up to the root a lot, you know. You know, it's kind of a nice thing to do, isn't it? Using that B as a shift up to the root and even back down again to give the major 7th sound. So have fun with that, and congratulations if you've arrived at this point with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep it burning.